Hi everyone, welcome to Meta Interview with Klara Kopi. Today I'm here with Tabea. She is the guild leader of the month for the Near Metaverse magazine, and also co-founder of mutiDAO.
Hi, Clara. Nice
Hi
to meet you.
Tabea, how are you?
I'm good. And you?
I'm good too. It's hot, but we are connected.
Nice.
So first things first, tell us a bit about your background. Where did you come from? Important things in your life that led you to where you are today.
Yeah, good question. I think so. I'm originally from Germany, but I'm living in Portugal for the last 7 years now. My background is, quite diverse, I would say. So I studied history of arts and the German language, and then I was actually not ever finishing the course properly because I moved to Portugal without having that planned. And then I was always doing like some artsy stuff on the side and always worked with associations and like cultural entities. And so I started working on festivals when I was 16. So this is how I kind of got into this whole cultural bubble. And then when I came to Lisbon, I actually also worked for an association here, which is also on the NEAR protocol, which is Arroz Creativo. And that's kind of how I started with the whole crypto Web3 creative integration, let's say.
Oh, that's awesome. I was going to ask you how was your transition, but that kind of sets it because, yeah, so you were working with associations before, and then you got in contact with this NEAR association by accident. How was it?
Yeah, it was basically, so I knew this association before as, being a guest there. And then I started to become part of the team and help out there. And they started working with NEAR, wanted to integrate NEAR. And then they basically asked me to do the community management of the guild. So the association was about to start NEAR, and then I was basically helping out with that. But being completely new in this as well. So it was like quite a steep learning curve. But that was basically it. I was helping them to set the association, like bring it into the NEAR ecosystem, creating the guild, trying to onboard the artists and all of that. And then during the first hackathon, NEAR was looking for a lot of creatives, like the focus was really on getting artists in. And you could basically submit creative ideas and receive a couple of NEARs for your ideas. And I submitted a couple of those ideas actually. And then the other co-founder, which is the Smoked Farman, is a Portuguese artist who also created the DAO with me. We came up with the idea of a social governance token within a collective. So people would buy, for example, an album or a CD of an artist as an NFT. And with buying this, you would basically receive some kind of voting power within the collective. So you might be able to choose like which artist would play next, or where would the festival happen, or stuff like this. So in order for us to submit this idea, we had to create a DAO. And we previously had the idea of creating a physical collective and working with culture, especially outside of Lisbon in nature. And this is how it kind of fit together. So we created the DAO and started properly working on the collective, or with the collective as well. So this is how one thing led to another, basically. That's awesome. How it happened.
I've been to your events. They're awesome. I love this. So much diversity in the artists. I saw a bunch of, I don't know. I think I went to what, 6 or more?
Yeah, you've been to a couple of metaverse events for sure. I remember you showing up.
Yeah, Biko Pro is there. I'm there. Because we live together. We're married.
Nice.
So yeah, even when my avatar is not there, I'm watching.
You're watching. Nice. That's cool.
I love it. It's so active, and yeah, now you have a brand new space that is gorgeous on your hub.
Thank you. They did a really good job with it. Yeah.
Yeah, even though it's not a physical place, you can feel the vibes. It's very nature, very inviting. I love it.
Yeah, that's the idea of like, as well as the collective as also the metaverse in a way, because we're not in the city anymore. So we decided to go into the green. to live. And the idea with the metaverse was to have kind of an example, to have like, you know, a bit of a natural vibe in the digital sphere, and then project the concerts, because the events we do in the physical world are a lot of times also in nature, you know, like on a river beach or in the field or whatever. So that's kind of the focus, or, you know, find some special places and put artists somewhere where it, you know, creates a different vibe.
That's I love that.
Nice.
We are actually trying to save to go to somewhere closer to nature so we can have a little garden with the food and just stay in a quiet place near nature. It would be the dream. So what do you think of DAOs? Tell us a bit about the ones you're involved with. I know you're not involved only with Muti. You're also involved with InnerDAO, I guess. And you're very active in the community.
Yeah, I kind of found my space with the help of Nia, I think. So I really like to work with communities and build them in a way, and try to show people what's possible, and, you know, connect people with each other to then create something. So actually this whole Web3 DAO system for me is super nice. So I'm also part of the InnerDAO, which is a DAO I also co-founded with the focus on women or female artists, because I feel in Web3 you have a lot of male dominance still, even though you can stay anonymous, and actually on one hand your gender or your age doesn't really matter, neither your background. But on the other hand, I think there's not one specific space, at least in Nia, where just you're a female artist or you want to discover things, and maybe you're not super into tech yet, and maybe you don't really dare to ask questions, or it's a bit intimidating. So I thought like creating this group would be nice, and we can all share resources, and we can do exhibitions, we can connect artists, and having this focus. So that's the InnerDAO. Then I was part of the Creative Style Council, which now we've changed the system. So in order to have it a bit more decentralized, instead of having individuals vote on things in the council, it's basically DAOs voting on other DAOs, which I think is a super important step towards that. And yeah, there might be a couple of other DAOs that I will help to get set up and give a bit of guidance. And then once that is set up, basically, you know, people can do what they wish to do with it. Also in the InnerDAO, the idea was for me to stay for 3 to 4 months, give the guidance and see until everyone is comfortable, you know, and then the council can rotate, so other people also have the chance to be in the council if they feel like. But I think a lot of times, like, Muti is really my baby, and there's this vision that makes a lot of sense. But I think for the other DAOs, I really see myself as someone that can maybe help setting it up and just teach people. Because when I started, for example, like I had to start from scratch. There was no book, no PDF, no, like there were maybe some videos, but it just took me a while to find them. And so if people now enter the space, I know where I can redirect them to, and I think give a bit of an easier access to things. So it's nice to see so many DAOs and collectives growing and popping up. I think it's awesome. It's really nice. Yeah.
Process, learning to use the platform and how to admit in a more administrative way is hard, because there's a lot of steps to make it work. Actually, it's very organized, but when you don't have any idea about it, it seems like otherworldly. But it's not that. But yeah, it just takes a time to learn it, to understand it. I saw a little bit about everything, and I started to dabble a bit and see some videos. Actually, some from the Marvin J Foundation with Chloe. It helped. But yeah, I'm crazy to start studying more about how NIA works. They have the near university that I think it should help a lot. And as soon as I have some time, I want to start studying. It will be great.
Yeah, I think the university is good, and also obviously I'm a bit biased because I'm working within the creative style area a lot, but I feel like we're super active. Like we have 9 moderators at the time, and people really are really friendly, welcoming, and open. So if someone has any question, like people would just, you know, write a message in the chat and get a reply. And I think the whole admin stuff is actually quite structured. It's just people need to understand why they need to write in a proposal, and why do they need to write a report, and why do you need a link in Astro. Like, it's like, I think it's those little tricks. People just need to understand why they do it. And I think the best way is like learning by doing. Like, think of an idea you would like to get funded, or something you would like to do, and then try to do step by step, and that way you learn. I think that's the best way.
Everything has to be transparent for everyone to see, right?
Exactly.
So it takes some time. Near is very young, so we will all get there.
For sure. And like, I think from when I started, which was about a year ago, up until now, like, you really can see how people develop, myself included. Obviously, like, before that I didn't really had a lot of contact with Web3 or crypto, and I think you can follow the path of people and their development, and how they develop their skills, which is super nice. I think I don't know, I really enjoy that. I really think it's a cool ecosystem to work with.
I'm loving it. I'm really loving it. What did the inspiration to create Muti came from? What do you feel it inspired you, or what did you think that the need and the desire to create it came from?
I think so I always had this urge, a will to work in the cultural area, and also with people in a way, to connect them, like really being this spider creating a web in a way, and also more in the background usually, so, you know, give space for people to create and all of that, and then the job is done. So I always wanted to have this cultural cell that, you know, supports artists. I think the time wasn't maybe right, and the space wasn't right. But then during pandemic, it just got really difficult, obviously, to organize events, and we wanted to do things in the green anyway. So it was easier for us to do things, you know, in the middle of a forest rather than in the city, also with the rules and with the capacity of people. So I think it was just the right moment. Like, there was always this idea of creating something, and then it just became clear last year that Muti is the thing that we want to do, is like supporting artists and working with creativity and showcasing that, and then blending it in with technology, and also, you know, like the whole thing with NFTs and funding, and what's a DAO, and how can you maybe turn it into a business to become more self-sustainable, I think is super important as well. And also the lack of support you get from, let's say, physical or fiat funding. Like, if you're a cultural association, you would have to be really established, and even then the chances for you to get funding, at least here, like, are usually very low. Where if you work with Web3, it's peer-to-peer, it's direct. And even if it's not through NEAR, it's true. Like, you can create a DAO, you might find other investors who like your project. So you don't really rely on a municipal hall or on the government, you know, to make something happen, which I think is really important. That's one of the perks of it as well.
Yeah, we're finding a place that we didn't know it existed.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's possible to live from art. It's possible to make what you love and be paid for that. And that was a big change for us also, as artists. I'm really loving NEAR protocol and knowing people. There's a lot of great people, great people. So nice, so welcoming, and everybody tries to help. It's very good. I'm loving it.
I think also
sorry.
I think also people start to, like, they might enter the ecosystem thinking of they want to sell their art, like, you know, thinking on a smaller scale, but then the longer you're in the ecosystem and the more you see how you can collaborate, like, the more you get a bigger picture of it. And I think that's what's really nice. Like, you think of stuff that a year ago wouldn't have been possible, for example. So I think this is really, it's beautiful to have that option, you know, at least for now.
I thought that I would only sell my NFTs or mint some NFTs on Mintbase because it's cheap. And then I started to know the community and see all the possibilities, and we can all build something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's way more interesting and rewarding to know that you're helping to build something. Is in making connections is something I never thought that I would have a show interviewing people. I never
But it's
thought of
cool.
that.
That's what I mean. Is like you think of completely different options. You know, you really start thinking outside of the box, which I think is nice. It's not very common usually, I think, and it's way more difficult. Yeah.
Yeah. What did you choose to build on your protocol? Why
this was literally because it was the first coin I properly got in touch with, and obviously because it has a creative focus. Like I don't come from the tech side of it. Like I'm not a developer. I was also considering doing that university course because I find code quite interesting. It's just I didn't study that, so I don't really know that much about it. But yeah, it was near because now like there's the focus on creativity, and it was the first one we got in touch with, and it just, you know, there was kind of a natural flow. The thing just started developing, and I'm like, none of us is regretting it. Like it's been perfect. I think we've done so many things with the DAO and also with the collective already that without that we wouldn't have been able to do it. So we're pretty happy with that decision for sure.
So what are your thoughts on the metaverse? How do you think having a virtual space has helped you reach your objectives, make you grow, get in contact with more people, and communicate what you're trying to build?
I think the metaverse itself is a very strange thing still. Like I also don't have the VR glasses, for example. Like I don't spend that much time on it. But I think it's really nice to connect, especially with during the pandemic. It's really nice to showcase artists, and we were able to pay artists to do what they're good at and what they want to do. And they have an audience. It's a virtual one. And I think it's really nice. There were a couple of connections that happened and collaborations through artists, which is super nice. So I think it helps to blend the digital with the physical, and it also helps to onboard artists. Like if they play the first time in the metaverse and they see their avatar, like this strange new kind of fun world, it kind of sparks a bit of interest. So I think that's nice. And in general for us, like we created the space, or NearHub created the space for us because we wanted to have a platform that is on Near and not just crypto voxels, because it's obviously also carbon neutral as well. And to keep on streaming things and using it as to have a bit more visibility for the artists basically, and also explore, like have the NFT gallery. And honestly, who knows what we're going to do with it? Like the way it's developing now, I really don't know. Like maybe one day we'll get a plot of land and we stream something from there. Like I don't know. We're still discovering, you know, but for now it's a good platform to showcase the art and interact with it and still learn, I think. So it's all still new and strange, but also pretty nice. If you don't overdo it, I would say.
Yeah, itself is a baby. It's being born yet.
Yeah.
It's in the alpha version, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, it's growing bit by bit. And we're all there right by the beginning to see it start and develop and build and talk to the people that are actually making it. Because when we have big companies, you don't know who's doing that. Here we know the name of the person, we talk to them, it's everything very close to the people. We really talk to the people. It's not something really far away that you would never guess who is helping you or talking to you. Like we know it's Jeff, he's building stuff, we know his name, we know his face. It's not personal, but it is.
In a way, it is. Yeah. And like the team is amazing. They're doing a really good job. Like for ours, I think it was Jeff and Dean. I think Dean was the designer of it. And yeah, they've been doing an awesome job, and they've been very helpful and, you know, super available. That's why I think we also decided to support them, because they, you know, they started building it now. So yeah, it just made sense, I think, to have a space in there as well.
What are your plans for the future of your DAOs and your metaverse presence? You said that, yeah, who knows what we're going to do in the metaverse, but do you have any plans already for how you want to make it grow, your DAO? You plan to advance in a way?
We're actually in the process of like creating a proper roadmap, also setting up a legal entity for the collective, probably creating a legal wrapper for the DAO, just to be on a legal, you know, on a safe side. And the idea is, of course, to keep on supporting artists and, you know, possibly at one point having more funds available to fund even more projects, because at now, like, we're at a point now where we actually receive proposals and we can't accept all of them just because we don't have enough budget at the moment. And for the physical side of it, like, we're thinking about obviously more physical events. So I think we're having, from May on, one big physical event in Portugal each month. And then we always will blend in like the digital side, like the NFTs and projections and maybe streams in the metaverse. And then on the long run, it's that, like, more creative or artistic residencies, more, you know, support for streaming sessions, for recording sessions, getting some more visual artists in. And I think the dream would be, like, at one point really getting a piece of land, you know, like, this is still far in the future, but the dream would be having this piece of land and having some installations and like room for residencies, and, you know, people create. So let's see, fingers crossed, let's see if or when that happens. But on the long run, that's it, like keeping on working with artists, creating projects, working with other DAOs and collectives, and creating an entity in both worlds to be safe and see where it goes.
Cheering for you. I hope you get this plot of land.
Thank you.
It would be really great to see.
Yeah, it would be nice. I hope it works out.
Like you said, the dream. What are you working on now?
Right now, it's basically the roadmap and getting all the legal things in order, trying to find like a proper lawyer that can help us out, who actually knows about crypto as well, because that's kind of hard to find, like someone that is based in Portugal. The roadmap, setting up the entities, and then already planning the physical events, and then working on the normal funding structure we have. So we have the monthly funding of a recording session. We have a couple of other projects that we will take on this month, and then really focusing on the legal side of things at the moment while we have the funding process going, basically. That's basically the plan for the moment, for the tasks.
Yeah, that's an area that it's a big question to everyone, I guess. How would laws apply to that? How even accountability, the accounting part is very, I think no one knows very well about that. The finding an accountant that understands crypto, finding a lawyer that understands it, I think it's hard.
I think what can help, or what we've done so far until now, we spoke to the Near Legal Guild, which they've been helpful, but unfortunately they didn't know anything specific for Portugal. Like, they couldn't answer us the questions we had, the specific ones. But in general, I know
country you are in.
Yeah, it always depends on the country you're based, and that's why for us, for example, the idea is to set up an entity for the collective, and also setting up a legal wrapper for the DAO. So it's basically two different things, but they can still work together. But that's because in Europe, the laws regarding crypto might change. I think if you're in the States or in Brazil, or I don't know, in Russia, like, you might have different laws. So I think what is helpful is the Near Legal Guild, at least to see if they have a contact, or also DAObox, who can set you up with a legal wrapper. This is the way we chose to do now, like to contact them. and it really depends on the region or area where you are located. Like all the rules are different basically. So yeah, I would recommend talking to those two.
I think this being on the internet, we forget that we are in a physical place that has its own laws. So yeah.
It's still pretty Wild West until now, you know.
Yeah.
Not many countries have rules. But I think, especially if you work with a collective and with collective funds and other people, like in my perspective, you have some kind of responsibility. And obviously, if someone is, you know, using the funds in the wrong way, and then it's me being liable for it or the other council members, it's also not super helpful. So I think, yeah, just talking soon enough to people who know, just to be on the safe side makes sense.
It's better just be safe.
Yeah, exactly.
So these two questions are more about the future. Thinking about the future. What legacy would you like to leave for future creatives or builders?
That's a good question because that's really far ahead.
Very deep.
Very deep. I think, keep on working towards the visions you have. You know, I think that's a good thing. And in general, it's just thinking outside of the box. You know, to make things happen is usually quite good. And other than that, I'm not really sure. Like, it's nice if people actually get inspired by what we do, for example, or if artists come and they do a project with us and then we explain them they can create their own DAO and our own project. I think that's super nice to see. So as long as some people find that interesting and, you know, as a motivation to set up their own project, that's already good. I think that's all I can ask for, basically, if at all.
I think it's very inspiring. I've been watching everything you've been doing, and I think it's great. You're very active on the community. You're so nice to everyone. You really make us feel welcome.
Nice, that's good.
Every time I talk to you, it's a pleasure. You're always very I think muti means, you said grandma, but it is grandma that you said that
it's the mother in German. It's like a name for the mother.
Yeah. And it has you have this aura of bringing people together, and
you almost make me blush now.
Come on, you're great.
Thank you. I mean, we try. I think, the goal is really to nurture and you know, take care of
that's it.
creativity.
That's the word, nurture. It's very nurturing, and it's a good place to be and great people to be nearby. Because it's something that sometimes we miss, this human touch on the internet, and I feel that on here it's very present. And
I agree.
it's been great. I'm loving it, and I'm feeling very inspired. I'm almost starting.
Nice, that's good.
All of us can grow a lot.
Yeah, I agree 100%. That's nice. Cool.
So, but if you could give some words of wisdom to those who are starting out, like I just stepped here, oh my God, I'm lost. What would you say?
I would say don't be afraid to ask questions, honestly, because especially as I'm not coming from a tech side, I had a lot of questions. Chloe, for example, Chloe knows. Chloe was my point of reference always, still is in things as well. But don't be afraid to ask questions. And for me, it's like the more proactive you are, the more things you can accomplish. Like, I mean, we all have, I don't know, 100 Telegram groups now, and that can be very overwhelming.
Really?
But but it can also be very helpful, you know. So I think asking questions, being curious, like, it's all open source. It's all like the tools are all there, you know. So it's just about figuring out what of those tools, which are the tools that might help you in this moment, and not getting too overwhelmed with all of it. I think a lot of people, me included, had this in the beginning as well. Like, there's so much information and talk and chats, and updates every day that it can be very overwhelming. So at the point, it's just about finding out what is useful or what is needed in that moment. And then I think people will find their path, you know, being it like becoming a developer or being an artist or creating a collective or whatever, you know. I really feel this has opened a lot of doors. So it's just about being active, really, in my opinion. Yeah.
Be nice.
Yeah.
In yourself.
Yeah, it's I think it felt pretty simple, actually, to be honest. I think it's really just that, being active and learning, seeing, watching other people, and doing it as well, for sure.
It's a great and simple advice. Well, is there something else that you like to say or add?
No, I think for now I'm just looking forward on how Muti can grow and how we can work with other artists, like painters like you, for example, or like, you know, Muti's doors are usually open. We're always open to work with people and figure out new
Looking
ways.
Forward to see what you're doing.
Nice.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. And I'm really curious about the future at this point, because I don't really know. I really don't know what's going to happen in 1 year or so. So I'm just looking forward to discover a bit more.
I think the process is going to be beautiful. And we're all together. We're going together.
That's true, yeah. All in the same boat. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Tabea. It was a great pleasure talking to you. I hope we see much more of you in the future. And that's it. A lot of success on your journey.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, and see you in Near Hub probably.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming and trusting my work.
Yes. Looking forward to seeing also your paintings.
Thank you, sweetie.
Bye-bye.
Pleasure. Bye.